Hey everybody, Madison here with Health by Ratio, and in this video, I'm going to be going over how to release around the neck with some self-massage techniques where we can relieve tension to help with things like migraines, with obviously chronic neck tension, even TMJ symptoms. Like we've helped tons of clients with regards to all of those kinds of conditions, whether it had to do with actual cervical issues, whether the spine or discs had arthritis, bulges, compressions, full blown fusions, as well as, like I said, chronic migraines, TMJ symptoms, all the above. So that's what I wanted to go over in this video. For those of you who don't know who the heck I am, though, like I said, my name is Madison. I'm the founder of a program called Health by Ratio. My team and I consist of licensed physical therapists, corrective exercise specialists, and functional health coaches, and we work virtually with all of our clients to help them holistically rehabilitate from chronic and or recurring pains and injuries and progress themselves beyond just the rehabilitation side of things, but towards the actual fitness and activities that they love to do. So we're passionate about bridging the gap from rehab and pain relief and health of the body, and then translating that to the fitness and activities that we love. And obviously, the neck, the shoulders, the jaw, these are things that a lot of people have issues with. So it's something that I wanted to cover in today's video. So without further ado, let's jump into how to release this thing. And all of this can be done with our own hands. So the first thing, I think most of us who've had neck tension and that kind of stuff, we've all had our upper traps massaged. The muscle that's running along the top side of this shoulder to the base of the neck. And it's a great one to work through, but it's not the end all be all. But if you haven't released that of recent, that's kind of a go-to to start with, is you can use your own couple of fingers, work with the opposite arm to that other shoulder, because now I can relax this shoulder and I'm going to massage into this area, knead into it, that kind of thing. And while I'm doing it, I want to be breathing deeply through my diaphragm, my belly. I want to feel that thing expanding and contracting. And I want to create movement to the area. So as I'm massaging this out, I'm going to look to that shoulder, and then I'm also going to look to the other shoulder. If one side feels more restricted than the other, if I'm rolling out and that is hurting more than if I go to this side, then I'm going to keep rotating to that painful side, but to wherever's comfortable. I'm not going to work into any major discomfort. I'm just going to work to, okay, that's the point that I can tolerate it to. And I'm going to keep doing this for a couple of minutes until I feel it release a little bit and allow me to look a little bit further over. It gets a little bit less sore. So that's what I'm working toward. And I can do that on both sides. The next one that I want to get to, I'm going to work from the base of the neck up, is going to be right above my collarbone. So right above this collarbone, I'm going to have this kind of little window. So here's my upper trap, and right down in front of it at the base of this neck, I can get into that corner spot. Now, for some of you, you might get into this and not feel anything. And then you go to the other side and be like, ooh, yeah, that's the intense one. That's the side that I really got to work. Or if you don't feel any gunk in there, skip it. But you want to explore both sides, even if the pain, even if the soreness is coming to my left, often it's the offside that creates the problems. And that kind of has to go with everywhere in the body. The right hip might be our problem child, but it's really tightnesses or imbalances in the left hip that's causing that right hip to be sore. Well, same thing goes for anywhere else. So we're going to work on both sides and figure out, okay, which one's the most tender? Are they both equal? Do they both need love? But we're going to massage into that area. We're going to breathe through the belly, and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to look around to one side or the other. We can also tilt the head to one side or the other. And we're trying to find if one of those directions gets a little bit more painful. We're going to keep massaging, and we're going to keep working toward that side until it releases and relaxes a little bit. Now, the next guy is going to be the front corners of our neck right here, which is the sternocleidomastoid, the SCM. It runs kind of from the front of that collarbone, well, actually underneath the collarbone, and then it attaches basically at the base of the back of the ear here. So we're going to take our hands, and we can do this both at the same time if we want, and we're going to massage into these sides by kind of pinching and pulling out. So I'm not trying to choke myself. I'm trying to work on these lateral edges up to the back of my kind of lower ear region here. And anywhere I got some hurt so good gunk, guess what we're going to do? We're going to knead into it, and we're going to tilt to one side or rotate the head to one side or the other. We're going to tilt the head to one side or the other and keep massaging it until it releases and relaxes. Okay. So now we've gotten the upper traps. We've gotten right in front of that guy. We've gotten this SCM here. Now we're going to work on some of the levators that are running up the dead sides of the neck here. So we're going to take our fingers and we're going to work right in between that sternocleidomastoid that's running right here and the back of the neck. We're going to work right on the dead sides. And we're going to push into this guy and kind of work our way up the neck towards the base of the ear and see, again, do we have any hurt so good gunk? If there's nothing there, cool, ignore it. That doesn't mean you need to, that means you don't have to work on it. But otherwise, if we find a good hot spot, we're going to massage into that area. We're going to try to start creating some friction and blood flow to it. And we're going to do the same movement of the neck. We're going to try to explore and see if there's certain ranges of motion that really cause this thing to get more sore, to really show, that's where we're restricted. And we're going to keep working that direction until it could take a couple minutes goes by, and maybe it happens at 30 seconds, maybe it happens at 3 minutes or somewhere in between. It releases and relaxes. All right. So now we've gotten all this area up the front and sides of the neck. There's only one or two more spots potentially that we're going to want to work. The other area is going to be along the backside of the neck that's running along the thoracic, or along the cervical spine right there. So along the neck, all the way up into the base of the skull. So right up into that occipital region where we're going to kind of almost have to get our fingers up and underneath that skull a little bit and dig into that guy. That's normally a hot spot, especially if we're dealing with some migraines. It often stems from us being in this position or this position for a long period of time where we're creating all this tension along the back of the neck. So digging up into there, if we find some good hurt so good work, we're going to massage in, we're going to move the head around, we're going to tilt it from one side to the other and get this thing to release and relax. And this one might be a bit of a stubborn area. So you might have to work that for a while, and you might have to work along a little bit of a longer period. You might have a good several spots to work through on that backside of the neck. And now, if you have some TMJ kind of symptoms, some jaw-related tension, or again, this is like if you're having any kind of migraine headache, you want to get kind of blood flow flowing up and around the neck and shoulders again. So another thing that's really important is to get our thumbs and hook underneath the jaw itself and work along the ridge underneath here and see if we got any gunk underneath this ridge of our jaw. And if we find it, we're going to massage into that guy and we're just going to move the mouth. We're just going to move the jaw around and create movement to this area as we're kind of massaging into it. And that is a way of us releasing tensions that impact our recurring neck sorenesses and pains and injuries. And then obviously we want to complement that by stabilizing the body correctly. We want to get this neck into a good position. So doing things like chin tucks and making sure our shoulders are in a neutral position and not rolled forward here. Standing and sitting in a nice upright position as opposed to forward head. These are the things that may go a long way in stabilizing us, but often it's even more foundational than that, where the neck and shoulders sit on top of the core, which sits on top of the hips, which is supported by our glutes, which is all the way dictated about what's happening down at the feet. So normally if neck pain and neck tension is something that you're dealing with on a regular basis, these kinds of things go a really long way in helping you feel better right in that moment. But the root cause of it is often stemming from down below. That's why so many of our clients that we work with will end up getting countless treatments, tons of chiropractic adjustments and massages and acupuncture around the neck and shoulders, feel relief for a day or two, a week or two, but then it reverts back. It's because we start only cherry picking this region, not realizing that there's other things, other imbalances, other tightnesses or dysfunctions going on down below that are causing this neck to be so unstable. So we always want to make sure that we're addressing the whole body. We want to see, is there other dysfunctions that are causing this neck up top to be unstable in ways that we don't want it to. So if that's the case, if you feel like man, I'm always treating this thing and I'm not getting lasting relief, then we'd love to help you. My team and I would love to help you for free. We offer on to everybody 2 free calls. The first call is a actual consultation call where we're on the phone with you. We're just chatting about what you've been through, what your body has experienced, what kind of treatments you've done, what's worked for you, what hasn't, what your goals are, all that good stuff, just to get to know you a little bit better and understand what it is that you've been through in the past. And then the second call is where you and I connect over a video assessment and we take a look at how this body moves in a variety of different ways, how it's moving day in, day out, but how it's also moving in some of your activities, testing ranges of motion and all that good stuff. And then we create a game plan on how to get this thing moving back to full range of stable motion. If you're interested in that free call, or calls, I should say, feel free to click the link around this video and you can get access to our calendar and go from there. All right, talk to you soon.